Feeling anxious and being told that candy might help sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Yet one doctor says a specific kind of sweet can act as a surprisingly powerful way to take the edge off anxious moments, at least in the short term. The surprising anxiety hack. A GP and medical educator, Dr. Raj Arora, has highlighted an unusual coping tool for anxiety: sour sweets. The idea is not that they cure anxiety, but that they can quickly interrupt an overwhelming wave of panic or stress by hijacking your senses and forcing your brain to focus on something else for a moment. In a TikTok video on her account at Raj Arora, she responds to a clip of a woman eating sour candy on the advice of her therapist. Dr. Arora confirms that, yes, this method can genuinely help some people in the middle of intense anxiety or panic. And this is the part most people miss. The sweet itself isn't medicine. It's the intense sensory jolt that does the heavy lifting. How sour sweets can calm your brain. So how on earth can a sour sweet affect your anxiety? Dr. Arora explains that it comes down to a sensory experience. When you are having an anxiety or panic attack, your mind often spirals into racing thoughts, physical sensations like a pounding heart or tight chest, and a sense of losing control. In that moment, pulling your attention sharply away from those thoughts can be surprisingly powerful. A very sour candy creates a strong, almost shocking taste and physical sensation in your mouth. Instead of focusing on fear or worst-case scenarios, your brain suddenly has to concentrate on what's happening on your tongue and in your mouth. The sharp tang, the saliva, the puckering reaction. That sensory overload redirects your awareness and can help bring you out of your mental spiral, just enough to start feeling a bit more grounded. Think of it like yanking your focus from inside your head to what's happening in your body right now. It doesn't fix the root cause of anxiety, but it can interrupt the panic loop. For some people, that tiny pause is enough to slow their breathing, help their body calm down, and regain a sense of control. But here's where it gets controversial. Should we really be leaning on sweets for mental health support, even temporarily? Important warning. This is not a cure. Dr. Arora is very clear on one crucial point. This is not a treatment for anxiety and not a long-term solution. Sour sweets can work as a distraction tool in the moment, but they are not a replacement for proper medical care, therapy, or a comprehensive management plan. She points out that sweets are typically packed with processed sugars and are not good for your overall health when eaten regularly or in large amounts. Constantly turning to candy whenever you feel anxious could create new problems, such as blood sugar issues, weight gain, or unhealthy eating habits. So while having a sour sweet occasionally as a quick grounding trick might be fine for many people, using bags and bags of them is strongly discouraged. In simple terms, the method can be helpful in short bursts, but it shouldn't become your main coping strategy. If anxiety is affecting your life, work, or relationships, relying on sweets is like putting a sticking plaster on a deeper wound. You might feel better for a moment, but the underlying issue is still there. Why this trick can still be useful. Despite the limitations, Dr. Arora does acknowledge that the sour sweet method can play a small, practical role in managing anxiety symptoms. It works by shifting your brain's focus away from the whirlwind of anxious thoughts and onto the intense sensations happening in your mouth. When that happens, your brain has less mental space to keep feeding the anxiety cycle. Instead of thinking, what if something terrible happens? You are suddenly thinking, wow, this is really sour. That mental shift gives your nervous system a chance to start calming down. For beginners or people who feel overwhelmed by traditional techniques, this can feel like a simple, approachable starting tool. It's easy, it's familiar, and it doesn't require much practice. However, it should be understood as one small option in a bigger toolkit, not a standalone solution. Other grounding techniques you can try. If the idea of eating sweets doesn't appeal to you, or you want alternatives that don't involve sugar, Dr. Arora suggests using grounding techniques. Grounding is all about anchoring yourself in the present moment by engaging your senses and body. Some grounding ideas she mentions include going outside and feeling the grass under your feet. This might mean standing barefoot on the grass, or simply noticing the sensation of your shoes pressing into the ground. Stomping your feet on the ground or grass to feel the solid, steady support beneath you. The physical impact and sound can help pull you back into your body. Holding ice in your hand. The cold, intense sensation gives your brain something very real and immediate to focus on. similar to the way sour candy works. Using breathing techniques such as slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, counting your breaths, or following a guided breathing pattern. All of these methods, like the sour sweet trick, are designed to bring you out of the anxious, what if thoughts and into the reality of what your body is experiencing right now. Over time, many people learn which grounding techniques work best for them and begin to use them more confidently. When to seek proper help. In her closing message, Dr. Aurora emphasizes that while sour candy can serve as a quick and simple distraction, it should not be seen as a long-term strategy. If you find yourself struggling with ongoing anxiety, panic attacks, or symptoms that interfere with your daily life, she strongly encourages you to speak with your GP or another healthcare professional. Proper treatment might include therapy, lifestyle changes, medication, or a combination of approaches tailored to your needs. A health professional can help you understand what's behind your anxiety and support you with tools that go beyond momentary distraction. So here's a thought-provoking question. Is using sour sweets as an anxiety hack a clever, low-effort coping tool? Or could it risk trivializing a serious mental health issue if people rely on it too much? Would you personally try this technique? Or do you think anxiety strategies should avoid things like candy altogether? Share whether you agree, disagree, or have your own twist on this idea in the comments.